If you've ever been torn in the decision of which style to use for your room, you know that it can be a frustrating position. It's not the type of feeling that strips away your motivation completely to design your room, but it is certainly an obstacle in terms of procrastination and getting to work. It's funny, when we see a design completed, we step back and think to ourselves, why didn't I think of that sooner? Well, I suppose that's the magic within different avenues of art. What makes the end result so special is that we aren't able to completely see it until it's finished. So how do we get ourselves on the right track early? How do we find ourselves on a path of diligence with some sort of plan of action? Sometimes the answer lies immediately outside your door. It's something people frequently forget when designing their own homes, but commonly remember when looking at other homes. Imagine someone showing you a photo of an attractive rustic interior. The ceiling rises to a peak, the paneling above is wood, and the joists are exposed. There's a black iron fireplace with stones surrounding it that travels from floor to ceiling. There's logs stacked on top of one another, forming accent walls. The flooring is wood. It's a dark mahogany like much of the rest of the home. The rugs are not simply rugs, but plush animal hides. You notice the same for the blankets and throws in the room. Well, what are you looking at? It's obvious that you're looking at a log cabin. This is a long description of what your mind registers in mere seconds. And without ever seeing the outside of that property, you know it's very likely to be located in the forest, the mountains, or some sort of secluded area in nature. The interior of this home makes perfect sense for its geographic location. So when you find yourself indecisive, walk outside of your door and open your eyes. What's around you? Allow the external to assist you with the internal. Today, I'm going to show you a brand new home's main level, which lacked personality, but was then turned into a celebration of its region. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be a subscriber. Remember that if you would like our help in designing your room, you can have that help by clicking the link in the description below. Let's turn towards the computer and you'll be able to see what I see. David had purchased a brand new home, and like so many other new construction properties, they leave a lot to the imagination. The positive side is that the builder often gives you a clean slate to work with, but now it's time to actually bring something about. After a bit of conversation with David, we realized that it would be an excellent decision to take inspiration from the outside and use those characteristics to theme the inside of the home. The home is near the Rocky Mountains, and it shares a geographic profile that's very similar to that of Denver, Colorado. Considering he was ready to start brand new with no existing furniture, David was open to anything with a few simple requests. Somewhere to put his 65-inch TV, the furniture to be comfortable and create a cozy environment. He'd like a whiskey display of some sort. He wanted to keep the overall theme relatively neutral in terms of color palette, not going too crazy with bold colors, as he did plan to do this in other sections of the home and didn't want it to be overwhelming throughout. He didn't want to change the flooring. That was absolutely understandable considering it was brand new. The house was just built. So let's take a look at what we did. This transformation makes you smile. It really is incredible how much the inclusion of carefully chosen items into an area can lift that area's spirits. The atmosphere now encourages you to acknowledge your surroundings in such a different way as compared to before. The first thing to notice in the TV area is the color selection. This was an easy choice and really is one of my favorite combinations to use. It's simply the extraction of colors used in woodlands and mountainous areas. Captivating browns found in rich barks, dark hues of green among pine and spruce trees, the grays and charcoals stemming from jagged rock and smooth stones alike, the black shadows that fall over the landscapes and the tree lines at dawn or dusk, white clouds in blue skies. All of these compose what we used here. If you find yourself in a state of doubt, look no further than copying Mother Nature's indisputably gifted eye for beauty. Her combination of colors, patterns, and textures are unmatched. Murals are something that people often look past, and they're simply not top of mind for a lot of people, but they can really increase the level of allurement that a room has. Colorado is home to roughly 10,000 black bears. Interestingly enough, about 75% of them are brown. I just learned that. Nonetheless, this wall behind the whiskey and coffee bar provided a fun opportunity to honor the region's original and most native residents. If you stand in the kitchen and you look toward the living room, we created a sort of path for your eyes so that they can travel in a certain direction by using different shapes, alignments, and tones. Have you ever taken the vision test at the optometrist where they have you push your forehead against the pad and look through that binocular-like machine? That machine is called an autorefractor. You see a hot air balloon in the distance of a bare desert. It's a long highway that travels towards that hot air balloon. The street is wide as it's near you, what appears to be near you, and then it narrows as it gets further from you. This image assists our eyes in looking towards the distant balloon, because that's how our eyes work in assessing depth and finding focus. This room uses those same principles. When this image appeared on your screen, think to yourself, where did my eyes go first? Well, if we did this correctly, the answer would be the bear. Although there are many items to see here, part of the strategy is to place lighter colors at the near perimeter, which gradually grow darker till reaching the far side of the room in that focal point. Think of this as the plain desert eventually meeting the bold color of the hot air balloon. The second part of the strategy is the creation of a travel path using aligned shapes. The width of the bear mural dictated the size of both the dining table as well as the area rug. The two needed to be sized and aligned in such a way that it felt natural to look further ahead. Think of these as the wide highway narrowing until it reaches that bold colored balloon. We finally did it. We made an Instagram. You can follow us by searching our handle, The Masculine Home. This is exciting because it's more than just interior design. This page will serve as an outlet of expression that's going to allow us to share our other interests, our hobbies, our passions, those things which have led us to designing the way that we do. Be one of the first. Come join us. We're excited to see you over there. Take a look at the wall in the dining area here. We have a small issue to resolve. The builder has the window quite far to the left corner, throwing off what would be our ideal natural center. To combat that, we play around with visual weight. We'll need to treat the placement of our decor items as if we were balancing an apothecary scale, positioning items on both left and right while taking the window into account to create the appearance of a natural midpoint. To go about this, a few items will need to be off-center right in order to balance the off-center left of the window. By using a technique like this, we preserve the aesthetic characteristic without having to get into expensive structural changes. The color brown makes an appearance in multiple parts of this design. But there's not just one shade of brown, is there? Why is that? Well, when you look at the forest, do you only see one tone of brown repeated over and over again? No, of course not. In some cases, you would want to closely match a hue as it appears in various areas of a room. In this instance, however, it worked in our favor to make use of a mixed assortment of brown hues and tones. You have now seen a few techniques that we used in bringing the main level of this home from dull to fun and comfortable and tailored, taking attributes from outside of the home to create an inspiring space inside the home. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you on the next one.